When I was growing up in Dakar, I learned something early. The ocean gives and the ocean takes. This isn't a love story, it's a survival story. And it began on a morning that looked completely ordinary. Ibrahima had always loved the sea. He wasn't reckless, but he wasn't cautious either. He believed in action, movement, doing something before fear had time to settle in. Mariama was the opposite. She studied environmental systems and coastal safety. She respected the Atlantic. She understood currents, tides, warning signs most people ignored. They knew each other from community meetings about shoreline protection near Plage de Ingor. He thought she worried too much. She thought he underestimated risk. That tension had never really left. On the morning, everything changed. A group of local fishermen had gone out earlier than usual. The weather forecast was unstable, but not alarming. By midday, the wind shifted violently. Boats didn't return. Panic spread quickly along the shore. Families gathered, voices rose. Phones rang without answers. Mariama was already scanning the horizon, calculating in her head. The current's pulling north, she said urgently. If they lost power, they'll drift toward the rocky stretch past the cliffs. Ibrahima didn't hesitate. Then we go. She grabbed his arm. We don't rush into this blindly. He looked at her, that familiar fire in his eyes. And we don't stand here doing nothing. Within minutes, a small rescue team formed. 2 boats, basic gear, no guarantees. The sky darkened faster than expected. As they pushed off from shore, Mariama's voice was steady but firm. Listen to me. We move with the current, not against it. If we fight it, we waste fuel. Ibrahima nodded. This wasn't the market. This wasn't business. This was life and death. The waves grew aggressive the farther they went. Wind slashed across the water. Rain started without warning. Through the roar of the engine, one of the men shouted, "There, to the left, a fishing boat, half submerged, 2 men clinging to the side." Ibrahima reacted instantly, steering toward them. "Slow down," Mariama yelled. "Approach from the down-current side." He adjusted at the last second. The first rescue was chaotic ropes, thrown arms pulling, water swallowing shouts. But they got them aboard. 3 more, one of the rescued fishermen gasped. Engine died. Boat split. Mariama's stomach tightened. She looked at the shoreline barely visible through sheets of rain. They were far out now, too far. The engine sputtered. Ibrahima's jaw clenched. Not now. Mariama moved quickly, checking the fuel line. Debris intake. Kill the throttle. A wave slammed into them sideways. For a split second, the boat tilted violently, and fear flooded everyone's face. This was the moment. The one where panic could win. Ibrahima looked at her, not for permission, for direction. Her voice cut through the storm. Balance left. Now, they shifted weight together. The boat slammed back down hard, but upright. She cleared the blockage with shaking hands. "Start it." The engine roared back to life. They found the remaining fishermen near a jagged rock formation north of the city, dangerously, close to the cliffs beneath the African Renaissance monument. 1 man was injured, another barely conscious. The waves were smashing the broken boat against stone. "We don't have much time," Mariama said. Ibrahima tied a rope around his waist. She grabbed it. "If you go in wrong, the current will pin you under." "I know. Approach from behind the rock face. Use the brake in the wave cycle." He stared at her for a second, memorizing the instructions. Then he jumped. The water swallowed him whole. Seconds stretched too long. Mariama's grip tightened around the rope. Then a tug. She and the others pulled with everything they had. 1 fisherman came up first. Then Ibrahima again, dragging the injured man. A wave crashed over all of them. For a terrifying heartbeat, everyone disappeared. When the water cleared, they were still there, breathing, alive. The ride back felt endless. No one spoke. The storm slowly weakened as they neared shore. Crowds ran into the shallow water to help pull the boats in, crying, shouting relief. Mariama stepped onto the sand, her legs shaking from adrenaline. Ibrahima followed. For a moment, they just looked at each other. No argument, no debate, just understanding. "You were right about the current," he said quietly. "You were right not to wait," she replied. That day, something shifted between them. Not romance, respect. He had the courage to move when everyone else froze. She had the clarity to think when fear tried to take over. Alone, either one of them could have failed. Together, they saved 5 lives. Later that evening, the sky cleared completely. The ocean looked innocent again, almost gentle, but they knew better, standing side by side on the sand of Dakar's coast. They understood something powerful. Survival isn't about being fearless, and it isn't about being cautious. It's about knowing when to act and when to think. When boldness listens and caution moves, people live. The sea still gives, the sea still takes. But that day, because 2 opposite forces worked as one, it gave 5 men back to their families.